Well, hello there. Hello. I know I'm a few seconds early. I want to pop in here to give you all a chance to come on and join me. I'm super duper excited. I've waited for so long to be able to launch this mindset and motivational fitness challenge. So the time is here. We are finally here. We're going to spend some time together today. Few housekeeping notes. This challenge will be recorded, a live stream. So I won't be looking at any of the comments, any of the hellos that are down below. I will come back later on, and if you leave me a message and I will comment on it within this group. So I'll be going live every day, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm super duper excited about this challenge. We have had tons of people to join this challenge. It's obviously something many people are struggling with. I've struggled with it for years. It's something that I've struggled with over the years. You set a goal, find your why, and you show up, be consistent. Find your why, how to be consistent, how to sculpt your body and lose body fat. So, this is what we're about to embark on. And so, I'm so super duper excited to see everyone. It's going to be an amazing next 5 days to spend with you. So total transparency here, opening up a new challenge that's going to start in January. I want to be totally transparent with you. Anytime I do a challenge online, it is a precursor to something that I'm about to sell you, right? It's going to be some juicy material, something that you're going to want to love. Yes, and want to get into. If it's something you can swing it in your budget, you want to go ahead and get in. I'm only going to take and accept 20 people. It is this challenge that we're doing now, the motivation and fitness mindset challenge. It is the precursor to something that you're going to want to get and help you to achieve your goals in 2024. Goal for me for these lives, I want to keep these lives at least 30 to 45 minutes, no longer than that. Most of you know that I love to talk. I can really, really talk. So, depends on how much material. I have a few notes here. If the juices start to really, really flow and come to me, we may be a little bit longer than that. But my goal is not to hold you any longer than 30 to 45 minutes. Um, as I was creating the material for this challenge, I had to stop and think about what is it that women want and why haven't they achieved it? Since I opened the studio in 2017, some women have had phenomenal success. These women have gone on, they've continued to work out, they've continued to work on themselves, they have managed to stay on the wagon. And some women, when I was creating this challenge, I looked at why haven't they achieved success? And why haven't they reached this stage yet? So I want you to be able to watch these videos and watch them in order. They'll all be pre-recorded and in order. It makes sense for you to be able to watch them in order. I mean, you can watch them out of order, but one video leads to the next step that you're supposed to take. All right. But the most important part of this challenge is that you take action. That is the most important part of this challenge, that you take action. At the end of this challenge, if you sign up for this challenge and entered in your email information, you will be sent. You could have already received it. The homework, it will come directly to your email. If for some reason you don't get day one, homework, what is your why? I will post it in the group. There will also be in the featured section the homework. So if you didn't enter in your information, it's okay. Simply go to the featured section inside of our private Facebook group so that you can take action and actually do the homework. That's the first step. That is your first step in this challenge, this fitness and motivational mindset challenge. So I took a few notes. Do your homework because you'll listen to me and you'll take in all of the information and have these spatial shifts. How I teach, I story tell so that it can really sink in. And you'll have these spatial shifts as I teach you and saying, "Oh, that's really nice, Kimmy. That sounds really good. That sounds really amazing." But what good is it for you to take in all of the information and not use it? It is completely meaningless for you to do that. So I want you to be able to get the body of your dreams. You have to complete your homework. Complete the homework because it's your first step towards taking action. It's your first steps towards change. So at the end of this live video, you will have a PDF in your email, and there will also be a PDF in the feature section of this group. Go ahead and download your PDF, not right now, in your email. Think about the questions in the PDF. Really take some time, get into a quiet space, and think about those questions after this live video it's over with. I have a few notes. So you've joined me today. Find your why. Name this series Find Your Why for today. Find your why, find your way. The struggle is real, but so is your why. And I had to think about that. The struggle is real, but so is your why. I had to find my way to get into the gym. And so 2013 to 2016, I started off. I was really, really heavy, overweight. I didn't feel real good about myself. I had come to the end of a 20-year love. I like to use that word. It taught me a lot of lessons in my life and decided to do something different. And that got me into the gym. That was my motivation. So I started to really, really work out to rebuild my strength. And the why that got me going was the emotion behind it. I was emotionally connected to that why. So I kept going from 2013 to 2016, working out. And I had been in this space before because the first time I lost weight and got into really, really great shape, I completely stopped and regained 100 pounds. And so I had to tell myself because anytime you've been there before, and you're going to have data day. So I had the data already that told me you're going to have a lot of fear with this. You're not going to succeed. You've been in this space and place before, Kimmy. How are you going to achieve this? If you start on this journey, Kim, you're just going to gain the weight back again. And so it was really, really difficult and challenging for me to start over again. But here's what I did, because with my why, I wanted to prove to myself I needed to rebuild the trust within myself. So that's how I emotionally connected to my why. I promised myself, it started off with a promise, that I would never ever miss any more than 3 days ever in my life working out. Because a little bit of back end of the story, there was a gym right down the street from me that I had joined once before. And when I joined this particular gym, I only showed up one time, and that was it. My children were teenagers, and I would always say, I never have enough time. I'm in school, I'm working on my second degree. I'm the wife. I have to go home. I have to cook. I'm in church. I am uh have to go out with friends. We were always having gatherings. I never ever had enough time. And so the second time around in 2013, when I became emotionally attached to my why, none of that mattered. I found my how. I knew exactly how I was going to the gym. I knew how I would get there. I didn't have any more reasons to not go to the gym because I was working then on rebuilding the trust that's inside of me. I needed to learn how to retrust myself again. So, the why got me going, and what emotions do. Emotions stimulate action. The word emotion, motion moves you forward. The word emotion, it comes from motion, which means forward. And sometimes when we have emotion, it can either take us away from our goal or move us forward towards our goal. In this particular time, because I was looking to build my strength and looking to build the trust back inside of me, this particular goal was moving me towards my goal. Now, let's fast forward a little bit. We're now into 2016, and I have began to work out. I've lost like 70 pounds and I'm about 170 now, and I'm feeling really good and I'm working out. And these friends said, "You know what? You need to teach us how to do this." And I was like, "Really? You think I can do that?" And they said, "Yes, sure you can." I was like, "Well, okay." And so they started meeting me at the gym, and I've really found accountability in meeting them at the gym. So it made me really want to show up for them because I wanted them to experience this wonderful strength that I was building on the inside of me. So I made sure that I showed up for them. Now, on some days it got a little bit hard, right? Just being human, but they kept me accountable. And then one day they said, "You know what? Have you ever thought about doing this, full time on a full time basis?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I've never thought about that." So fast forward a little bit more into 2017, and I started my very, very first boot camp and decided to open up Dynamic Physiques Fitness Lifestyle, Active Lifestyle now, Active Lifestyle Studios for Women. It was Weight Loss Studios for Women. Now it's Active Lifestyle Studios for Women. And I had a connection. And so I remember being in that studio by myself a lot of days and, organizing different posters that was going up in the studio. So I've been working out now for about 4 years. And there was a little bit of part of me that looked at myself as I went by some of the mirrors, and I stopped and looked and said, "Man, you work out a lot, but your body doesn't reflect how I wanted my body to look." But I kept that secret to myself. I didn't share it with anybody. I really didn't want to share it with myself, but a little bit of part of me wanted more. But at that particular time, I wasn't willing to give more. So I remember looking at a poster of Emily Sky. She's a CrossFitter. I was hanging up the poster in the studio. And I remember looking at Emily Sky. She had all these juicy muscles. She had these quads, man, that were just out of sight. She had these abs, these washboard abs. And I remember looking at Emily Sky saying, "Wow, what would it be like? What would it feel like to have a body as ripped as Emily Sky?" But I still didn't say to myself, I didn't believe to myself that I could achieve that. My why got me going. My why got me inside of the workout. I worked out 6 days per week, twice per day. And I looked at my body and I looked at Emily Sky's body. And by the way, comparing yourself to somebody else is like the thief of joy, right? It could be the thief of joy or it could be your motivator. So fast forward 2 years because I still did not, and because of fear, I didn't want to fail. It kept me stuck right there. So fast forward, from 2017 to 2019. We're getting ready to go into COVID. And so I said to myself, I wasn't willing to admit to myself how I really wanted to look. And it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's how women are socialized. Women are socialized to be quiet, don't really say what you want, be the nice little girl, don't do that, be quiet. You're not allowed to want that. That's too much for you. Who told you you were allowed to have that much? While men are socialized to have everything that they want, they are able to express. You got to be the tough guy. You got to prove yourself and stand up for yourself and don't cry, and we're just socialized differently. And so I didn't believe enough in myself to admit to myself that I wanted to change and transform my body. And one of the reasons why is I didn't have a strong enough why. I looked at Emily Sky, but I still did not connect with the reasoning of I still train 6 days per week. I still logged my foods, but I did not connect to it. I did not put a plan in place to develop the body, the muscles, the nutrition. I didn't prioritize any of that. I would train, at the location uh outside of this general location here in Prattville, and I would train in the Montgomery location, and I would eat all these snacks and vegan snacks, and I was vegan during that time. And I would log some of the foods and wouldn't log, and I would eat all these grapes and I would eat all of this fruit and I would eat, I was eating tons of healthy foods. And I would look at myself. And then one morning, we're in COVID. It was March of 2020. Well, no, it was before March. No, it was before March. It was actually February of 2020. And I said, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. And I really didn't mean it. I just said it. I said, I'm going to challenge myself. It just felt good in the moment. I'm going to challenge myself to get into the best shape of my life. And I had a coworker at work and she said, I do Spartan races. I said, really? What is that? And she sent me all of the Spartan information. I was like, oh, this seems really cool, but could I do this? She said, well, I'm going to do it with you. I was like, really? She said, yeah. But lo and behold, she got a job at the Citadel. So she left. And so I'm the type of person that if I make a promise to somebody else, I want to keep it, right? And she said, I'm leaving. Are you going to still do the Spartan race? And I'm like, oh. And I immediately just said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Then we shut down. We went into COVID full fledged, right? And so I said to myself, when I told my husband, I said, I want to do this race. And he's like, well, what is that? I said, it's down in Jacksonville, Florida. It's an obstacle course race, blah, 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 blah. And so then something came to me. I was still 163 pounds, 167, give or take. The lowest I'd gotten was like 165. And I told him to climb these walls or whatever. I want to be in the best shape of my life. So here comes my second why. I was emotionally connected to it. I could feel it inside of me. I could actually try it on and feel like what it felt like to be in the race. This is the thing that I needed to fuel my emotion, my why. And so I said, well, I got to do a few things. I thought about the program that I had put together because I became a trainer thinking, oh, I just need to become an athletic trainer. I'll become a personal trainer and my body will just show up. Have you all ever done that? None of you have ever done that, right? Just hire a trainer and I'll just get into the best shape of my life. I was the trainer and I still long to be in the best shape of my life. And that little part of me didn't want other people to know how badly I was like suffering in silence. Like, oh my God, why isn't this body showing up? I'm doing all this working out. And so going into the Spartan race, I remember making a plan. It was February of 2020. And I told my husband, I said, I'm getting ready to take off 30 pounds. He's like, 30 pounds? I was like, yeah, I want your support. That's what I'm asking for, your support. I thought that I could still have a lot of the things that I was doing in my life, a lot of the habits, keep them. But I never ever proven to myself the science behind what I had learned as a trainer. And something said to me, Kim, you've never proven that to yourself. So that was another why that sealed the deal for me. I needed to prove within myself that the information I was giving out to all of these people actually worked. So I sought out on a quest where I was actually going to use my own meal prep, meal plan, veganize it, and go for it. I was going to trust myself. I still had all this fear and self doubt and emotion. And how is this going to work? Because we drank wine together and I'm no longer doing that. And I just need your support. I don't ask for permission. I just need your support. And so it's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to support you. And so the next day, I never will forget, it was February 18th. I went on a quest to lose 30 pounds. I started in February. Well, by October of 2020, I had gotten down I had lost 40 pounds. I was 130 pounds. And so I'm telling you all of this because when we lay in bed at night or first purchase a fitness program, we actually try on what it would feel like to be that, but not have a why, not really be connected to the why we want it. And so we'll do it for a little while and then we'll stop. We'll yo yo diet for a little while and then we'll stop. And it's normally when we're feeling really satiated or really after the holidays or rolling over in bed and we're feeling a little, can I use this word? Feeling a little fat. Some people get offended when you use the word fat. And at 238 pounds, I was fat. I was not fat. I carried a lot of body fat. Let me say it that way. I had a lot of body fat. And so, people, you're not fat no more than you are a fingernail. You may have a hangnail, but you don't cut off your nail bed. You don't get rid of your fingers and your whole entire nail. You just clip off the hangnail. So you're not a fingernail. You have fingernails. And if you want to take off that hangnail, that fingernail, you can do that. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to get into the best shape of my life and have my muscles to show. So in order for me to be able to do that, I needed to take off some body fat. And so that's what I did over those, what was it, February to October, 8 months. Yeah, it took me about 8 months. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, it took 8 months to take off about 40 pounds. And that's about what, 5 pounds per month? That's about right. And so I say all that to say, I really want you all to dig into your why. Because when people tell me, or when I hear ladies say, I just want to be healthy. I know there's a little bit of part of you that does want to be healthy, but I know that there's a bigger why on the inside of you. You're just afraid to really, really say it. You're like I was. I don't care what your why is. It could be wearing nipple tassels. You could be dancing from a pole. It could be for a family reunion coming up, a wedding, a birthday, whatever your why is. You need to be emotionally connected to it. Because if not, it's never going to be for the long term. And some people say, well, Kim, how can you keep going once you find that why? So here's how the brain actually works. Did you know that inside of your brain, there are actually three pleasure centers? There is the pleasure center for sex, there's the pleasure center for learning, and there's a pleasure center for eating, for food. All three of those gives us so much joy and pleasure. And so your brain loves to be challenged. It loves a challenge. So the way that you continue to keep yourself going, you have to find a plan and you have to continue to challenge yourself. And that is the way you make this for life. Um, and so that's what I do now. I have overcome those particular challenges because once the challenge ends, I go to the next challenge and I challenge myself with something else. And then I challenge myself with something else. This is more than about a physical challenge because the way your brain works is I had a friend one time, and you'll hear this story again. And she said, Kim, I really, really want to get into the best shape of my life, but I don't understand why I'm so strong at night. I would lay in the bed at night and I would tell myself, I am not going to get up in the morning and have a donut and coffee. And I asked her, I said, well, what happens? She said, well, I get up in the morning and I have a donut and coffee. I said, so what were you going for? I mean, what were you really going for? She said, well, I just don't understand why I keep doing this. Why at night do I tell myself that I'm not gonna have donut and coffee? It feels so good to say that at night. I said, well, because you're human. And she was like, what? She said, you're being silly. I said, no, it's really because you're human. And it's because your brain and your body are different. Your body always seeks comfort. That is how it's designed. And when you go for the donut, you're going for comfort. At night, when you're laying in the bed, you're not uncomfortable. You're about to go to sleep. You're not challenged with the donut. So you can be powerful and feel good in the moment at night because you're not challenged with getting donuts and a coffee in the morning. It's at night. And she said, "Oh." She said, "Well, how do I move past this? How do I get past this?" I said, "Well, here's the deal. Because we are human, right? We can lay in a comfortable place and space. And we do this a lot. You'll lay in your bed, you'll look at fitness models, you'll eat a big meal and you'll tell yourself because women are feelers, we feel everything. You were designed that way. You will feel. Men are not designed this way. Men wake up and they feel the same way every day. Okay? They don't feel the hotness inside of their body or coldness or they don't feel like we feel, and that's how we're designed. And so that is how we become emotionally connected. We use a lot of emotional strength. Women do. And I said, so it's easy to lay in your bed at night and tell yourself you're going to be really, really strong because you're not faced with what you're faced with the next day. It's easy to be strong when you're not uncomfortable. Being placed in an uncomfortable place and space puts your body and your brain against each other. They're battling. And what I want you to understand is when you find your why, your body and your brain are going to constantly battle against each other. That won't go away. So I'm here to help you to understand that. She said, well, how do I get over this? My husband has been diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I told him I'm going to start running. She's in pretty good shape. I want to start running with him in the mornings, but this donut, when I have this donut, I'm feeling really heavy from the sugar, and I really want to get into the best shape of my life. And I said, I understand that. So here's the thing: when you tell yourself you want to change and you find your why. She has a why. She wants to support her husband. And when we want to support somebody else, it seems like that why is really, really strong. Just like me with the ladies at the gym. I was showing up, I was being accountable. I could show up for them, but sometimes I couldn't show up for myself, right? And so I told her, here we are, person, and we have an ideal self. Your ideal self is the person that you want to become. Here's the person that you are today. And you just can't go straight away to your ideal self. So you have to have a plan to get there over time. So I told her, if I were you and you were me, I would simply replace the donut, not the coffee. Well, she could replace the coffee as well because one goes with the other. It's like having ice cream and cake. They go together. There's nothing wrong with that, but they do go together. So I told her, I said, I would replace the donut with something else. I wouldn't have the coffee until I got to the office. Grab your coffee and go straight away out the door. Don't sit around your home because your body is going to say, no, 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 no. What are you doing, Kimmy? You know we don't do that. You know, when we have the coffee, we have the donut. They go together. What are you doing? You are not making changes. No, 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 no. This is not how this works. Ah, and so that is how it works. And so the hypothesis is your ideal self. Your hypothesis, when you try on the fit body that you see in your mind, the muscles, the abs, that is who you want to become. And when you find your why, I need to lose weight because my health is failing, or I need to lose weight because the doctor has told me I need to lose weight because I want to get into the best shape of my life. That is what you're battling against. It is. You are battling against your ideal self. The ideal self is who you want to become, it's who you've tried on in your comfortable moment. You're not faced with anything. And oftentimes, we'll try to use what's called willpower, and willpower will only last for just a little while, right? Yeah, just a little while. It won't last forever because what willpower will do, we'll try it on, try to use willpower, and then we'll end up just overeating in the long run or splurging off of something and telling yourself, I'm never going to get this because you really don't understand how this all works. And so that is the reason why I created this fitness and motivational mindset challenge, because I want you to know why you do the things you do and that you can get into this best shape of your life. You are the most purposeful human being on the planet. You're not lazy, you're not lacking, you're not unmotivated. You simply need to understand why you do the things you do. And once you understand why you do the things you do, you can make changes. You now understand that you won't go from the person you are straight away to the person in your head, because we don't live in our heads, we live in a body. Right. And so that's the reason why you and people like nobody in this group, not you, but we know those people who go out and they purchase fitness programs or they hire trainers, and they feel real good in the moment, and they get there and they train for about a week or 2 weeks, and then they totally just fall off the wagon and like, "Oh my god, this is work, and how why did I want those abs, and I don't know, I'm very uncomfortable." And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Sometimes we simply want it, right? You just want it. Sometimes you are missing a resource, and sometimes you don't want it at all. And you make it mean something bad about you when you come to grips or come to terms about, well, maybe I just don't really want it at all. Because there's nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that your body seeks comfort. That's not your fault. It's not. But women, we feel so guilty about the things that we do, and we emotionally connect to it until we don't ever want to try it again. And so maybe you were like me. Maybe you were just missing a resource. Maybe you were like me and you just needed to do the principles that I had created for these other people that I had not tried, right? Yeah, I would try some of it, but not all of it. I would do some of the workouts, but not all of them. You know how you would eat some of the food, but not all of it. You would do it some of the time, but not all of the time. And then you would tell yourself, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Because if you want to get fit and healthy, you will. I want this to be the very last fitness program that you ever purchase in your life. If you are on a walking program or know of a program that you want to purchase in January, or you're in a program right now, working with a coach right now, you are in this fitness and mindset motivational challenge so that you can understand your why and take action. So at the end of this live, I want you to go to the features section. I'm holding you accountable, and do the homework. That is your first step in taking action. You need to come up with your why. It could be it's a new year. Write that down. Come up with another why. Why do you want to make changes in the new year? Why is this important to you? To you. Why do you want to be in the best shape of your life? For me, I wanted to look like Emily Sky. She had amazing shoulders. She had amazing abs. She had amazing energy. I just wanted people to look at me like they looked at Emily Sky. I follow her now, still online on Instagram. Look her up, Emily Sky. And you may say, "Oh, that's a bit narcissistic. You want people to look at you and review." Yeah, I did. Whatever your why is, don't be afraid to say it. And I'm being totally transparent with you right now because I want you to be transparent with yourself. You deserve to stop being afraid of what you really, really want in life. Who cares what your why is? Who cares if nobody else wants to get into the best shape of their life at your age and stage in life? It doesn't matter. This is about you. This is your motivational fitness and mindset challenge. This is totally about you. So go now to the PDF. I'm about to upload it into our group. I want you to download it and I want you to think about the questions. Find a quiet place and space. If you're at work, wait until you get home. Find a quiet place so that your mind can really and just start to write. Write it down. And here's what I want you to do. You don't have to do it, but here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to share it in the group. I would like for other women to know that it's okay to want to be in the best shape of your life as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter, as a whatever, as a colleague. It's okay. You deserve that. You deserve it. You deserve that. You do. If it's something you've been wanting for a long time, now is the time for you to get it. So go ahead. And if you have any questions about your why, I want, because I'm not looking at any questions, hellos, anything right now, because I don't want to be distracted, but I will afterwards. And we can get the hug and love and kissy kissy and all of that. Yeah. I want you to drop it down in this group. If you're having challenges, if you want to know the answer or me to help you to figure out your why do I overeat, Kim? Why do I not do this? And why do I not do that? Your why, drop it underneath this live. And we're going to help you uncover and discover your why. This is day one. This is day one of your change for the rest of your life. This will be the last fitness program you will ever have to buy. I got it. I got it now. I'm never going back to the person that I used to be, ever. I got it, and I want you to have it more than anything. So that is my reason I'm giving it away to you this week for absolutely free. The only thing you have to do starting today, you may say, "Well, I don't have time right now. I'm at lunch." I get that. I may not have time when I get home. Answer one question. Find the time to answer one question. That is your challenge from me to you. Drop those questions down. and I'm going to answer them for you. We'll be back here on tomorrow at 12 noon Central Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for day 2 of the Fitness and Motivational Mindset Challenge.